It's, I was at the break, I didn't eat anything all day, so I was a little bit hungry, needed a snack, didn't have time to eat a lot. I know we're a health and wellness company, but I got a turtle ice cream bar. Now I need to explain. First of all, I'm leaving tonight, as Brian mentioned with Ryan, to Manila for the opening, and then I stay and go to all kinds of places. Thailand, Cambodia, Malaysia, Singapore. And over there, they do not have a single word that starts with S-U-G-A-R. So I needed a little fix before I left. Now, what I like so much about Russ and his website, he goes, we're all human, all right? We're not food Nazis, right? He says, it's okay to have birthday cake. Now, every day is not your birthday. So, you know, what's also cool is when we introduced our capsules and our weight management system, I lost 33 pounds in 60 days. Haven't gained a lick back. In fact, I got another belt loop that I got to tighten up. So, you know, we're in the right place at the right time when it comes to our products. I think Russ does such an amazing job articulating, and I hope you understand the magnitude of what Moringa oleifera can do for our health, for the people we care about. Everybody, all over the world, the same response. When I go over to Asia, any of the countries, it's the same thing from Canada, Mexico. Everyone has parallel responses to what we're getting here. So it is truly a global opportunity and a billion-dollar brand. Now, what we're going to talk about right now is something that everybody should know. I encourage you, please listen carefully. This may be, how many people have introduced this business to other people and they've not joined you? Yeah, absolutely. You know, in my, before I was getting involved 19 years ago in network marketing, I owned an advertising agency, and I talked a little bit about that before, and I was dying. I had my own business, thought I had everything I wanted. We made a great income, clients like Frito-Lay, Dr. Pepper, 7-Eleven, but it says, you're successful. But inside I'm dying. I'm working 24/7. I've got children I can't spend time with. It was, anybody ever just, on Sunday night, you ever get that sick feeling? Tomorrow's Monday, I gotta go back. Anybody ever get on Saturday that sick feeling that tomorrow is Sunday, the day before Monday? You ever you're driving around, you ever just start daydreaming, there's gotta be something different, something better. You ever just mind wander and what are the possibilities? I was kind of at that point. Now, many people, not many, a lot of people said, well, why would Ron want to get involved? He's very successful, owns his own business. It would make sense. Why would I want to get involved in network marketing? So I didn't get a lot of calls, but I did get some. But it was typically people that were out there hooting and hollering. You ever get those people? We're all going to make $1 million. You won't believe this thing. We got this miracle that, miracle this, whatever. I'm like, okay, well, how do you do that? Well, you just sign people up and everybody's going to get rich. It just didn't make sense to me as a business person. Do you see what I'm saying? Anybody ever approach like that? I mean, at the point you're just going like, oh, go away. And then one day I got a call from a friend, good friend, and usually what it takes, maybe you got this call. Best friend, we went to college, high school, college. I moved to Dallas from Florida. He's still there. He called me up. He says, hey, Ron. I said, hey, Vince, how you doing? Okay. How are you? I said, okay. How's Dorothy? Okay. And I knew immediately. Network marketing. The only thing to tie people's tongues. Makes them so nervous they can't even talk. Anyway, he's a good friend. Asked me to meet with someone that was coming into Dallas. As I now know, upline that was coming into Dallas. And the kid was 23 years old. And we sat down, and I was kind of half listening. But I did it out of courtesy. And he presented, and when it was all over, he showed me this check for $23,000. He was 23, and that was for the month of August. Then he explained he didn't work 1 hour. He's been in Chicago like he does every August with his family. You know what I said? Could you start over? Because I wasn't paying attention. See, I didn't understand this industry of network marketing. I didn't understand it. Nobody ever explained it to me. It was all about, I don't know, craziness. I didn't know anybody that it worked for. And once, I saw that presentation, I said, you know what? This makes a lot of sense. I probably need to investigate it just a little bit. Because it's not Zija, and it's not the products, nor the company, or anything that really is going to block people from deciding to get started. That makes all perfect sense. And they can be product users. They don't have to get involved with the company. But if you want to recruit people from a business standpoint to have people in your group that want to build a business, it obviously helps to talk with more successful people, right? But we have to be able to articulate what it is that we do. Because if they don't understand what we do, they say confused mind does what? Nothing. And they're not joining, and you don't know why. And by the end of this, as I said, how could anybody say no? Now, it might not be the right time, and it might not be something that they would like to do. That's okay. It's not for everybody. But we're going to find so many more people joining us because they understand what it is we do to be able to generate income. Does that make sense? Yeah. Makes sense. So if your prospects only knew, the numbers don't lie. 110 million people, billion sales worldwide, 110 billion, that's pretty good industry size, don't you think? 30 million people in 67 countries and growing are in this industry of network marketing or network distribution. Remember I mentioned 300,000 people join every month. Do you know Zija right now is clipping 10,000 people joining us every month? 10,000. Now, all these people can't be wrong, can they? That's pretty extraordinary. Our goal is by the end of the year, 20,000. And this is what really, these are the kind of things that started making sense to me. It's a 60-plus-year-old regulated industry. There are guidelines, governmental through the states and attorney generals, the DSA, Direct Selling Association, of what it takes to be a legitimate distribution company. Okay? Those that don't follow the rules, they're the ones that you hear about that are getting shut down, going out of business, because they're not following the guidelines. The insurance industry, the securities and exchange industry are regulated, aren't they? And so are we. This is a legal business or distribution channel, right? And it's a franchise it's a franchise-like model. Anybody familiar with a little company called McDonald's? Revolutionized business, right? Franchising. We've got a formula. We've got a system. You don't like hamburgers. You don't even have to like to cook to own a McDonald's and make a lot of money. In fact, they'll guarantee your success. If your store doesn't produce in 1 year, they will give you another store to get profitable. Unless you don't follow their system. You don't follow their system, they have a right to keep your $1 million minimum and take your franchise away. But they give you everything, the food, right? All of the material, the kitchen, the building, etc. You all have to get it through approved vendors. They give you the packaging, the napkins, the signage, the logos. Everything is designed for a reason because they know the formula for success. But here's an interesting fact. Do you know in the early 60s, Congress was just short votes from making franchising illegal, declaring it illegal? Why? You can't sell a name. There's no value. You can't sell a name. So think about it back then. This new concept comes out and all these slick salespeople are running around. You wouldn't believe it. They got their books and the advertising and they're showing people, you can get a franchise to sell whatever, hot dogs or hamburgers or whatever it is. All we need is $10,000 up front and then you pay a monthly fee. And people are giving them their money and they're gone. Never hear from them again. Sound familiar? Right? That's what Congress had a problem with, but it was overturned, just much like Amway did back in the 60s with network marketing, having to go before Congress and making them understand this is a legitimate form of distribution. It's all it is. It is a distribution channel. Does that make sense? So we all, you know, Amway, the biggest debt of gratitude. Anybody ever talks bad about that company, slap them. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. Make sense? All Fortune 100 companies I discovered had a somehow their product went through network marketing. There's a company, you ever hear of Gillette? You know the network marketing company called Jafra? That's their, anybody ever, Rexall Drugs? They have, that's a gentleman by the name of Joe Rashana back there, and that's the first company I got involved with, Rexall. Rexall Showcase International was the network marketing arm of the Rexall drug manufacturing company and drug stores, right? Just look at the books that are out there. You know, Robert Kiyosaki, Donald Trump, Why We Want You to Be Rich. A whole chapter. Robert Kiyosaki is my favorite. If you want to understand this industry and why people should get involved, you know, business school, cash flow quadrant, all of his books focus directly on why this is the freest form of capitalism, why you can't miss, and if you want financial freedom and independence and not having that job, then this is the industry and all the reasons why. You got to get your hands on it. If you don't, you read those books and your attitude when you're talking to people will be so different. Then we got these amazing products and they cure cancer and whatever we're going to say. You know, all these crazy things that we say, hoping something will resonate with someone. It'll get their attention. But I'm here to say if you want quality people, they need to understand what we do and how we do it. Warren Buffett owns 3 companies in this industry. You think it's illegal? You think it's wrong? You think it's not right? His quote, "The best decision I've ever made." This is real. It is a distribution channel. That's all it really is. It's the most effective and efficient way to get a product from the manufacturer to the end-line consumer. I mean, think about it, you know? Well, I'll give you an example. The opposite, Frito-Lay. When we worked for Frito-Lay, we did a lot of package design for them, all the Doritos line, everything we did. And at the time, a bag of Doritos was $1.89 stamped on the bag. Now, to make the chips, to make the bag, put the chips in the bag, how much do you think it cost Frito-Lay? What was their cost for the chips? Put them in the bag, get it ready to ship. How much? 25 cents. 5. Cost a nickel. So if it cost a nickel to make it, but we were paying $1.89, now they're running, it's not like they kept all that money. They would have been excited to get a 10% profit margin. So that's about, let's say, 20 cents. So where'd the other $1.69 go? Minus the 5 it cost to make, $1.64. Where'd $1.64 go?
Advertising. Marketing. Advertising.
Well, you know, obviously they had some expenses, staff, administration, et cetera, et cetera. But they had a sales force, didn't they? They had to ship the product to, they had their own trucks to ship product to where the stores or distribution facilities. Yes, they had that, of course. They had all the salespeople, regional managers, and salespeople, and, you know, local managers, and national managers. But the bulk of it went to ABC, NBC, Time, Super Bowl, newspapers, radio, promotions, all of that. The bulk of all that money, that's where it went. Does that make sense? Now think about Zija. Goes from our manufacturing facility to you. You pay for the shipping. And they don't pay anybody, and they don't ship it until that credit card or whatever it was cleared. How efficient is that? I mean, think about it. Just business, as a business person, think about that, right? So through history, as we are a distribution channel, think of some of the other revolutionary ideas. Sam Walton. Now, he really changed the face of distribution. What did he do? Number one, he built those big stores, right? The Mecca in every town in America, putting everybody else out of business because he could sell cheaper than anybody else. Why is that? What's that? Volume is a big part of it, but even as he was building that volume, his concept was, I'm going direct to the manufacturer, and I'm telling him, I'm going to put volume through, and I want it cheaper than anybody else you're selling it to, or I'm not buying yours. I'll buy somebody's chips or Cokes or cleaning products or whatever it is. so he could give the consumer the best value. So as the consumer found it cheaper there, more consumers came, they grew, and it really fed upon itself. But basically, he cut the middle people out. He said, I am not gonna, don't send me a rep. I'm buying directly from you. That's how I'm getting it cheaper, cutting everybody out. That was just a retail twist to, or a twist to the retail distribution channel, right? Now, we've kind of followed that same thing, except we don't have stores, do we? And we don't pay for shelf space like Frito-Lay had for prime shelf space. So the savings are amazing. Now you take a look at Sprint, DirecTV. How did Sprint become, at the time, the largest telecommunications company in the world? Remember it? What was the ad? What was the campaign? Huh? Pin drop? No, not quality. Oh, heck no, man. Nobody cared. What do they care about?
Yeah.
Remember Friends and Family?
Friends and Family.
They showed you how to get it free. What is DirecTV doing? If I refer you get DirecTV, I get $10 off my bill. You get $10 off your bill. I get 10 people, I got free TV. It's relationship marketing. They're depending us going on to our friends and our family to spread the word. Does that make sense? Is that crazy? What do we do? The same thing, right? So think about this. Frito-Lay, you want to build a billion-dollar brand? What's the first thing you do? You build it locally. You advertise local radio, TV, newspapers, get people buying it. Word gets out, it's a good product. Then you go regional. You got bigger buys, more expensive, that media coverage. Then you go national, right? And it takes a long time to build a brand. Now, what happens if you want to go to France? You start regional, local, Paris, you go regional, and then you go national. But now, all of your advertising has to be translated. It all has to be adapted to the cultures in that market. It's very expensive. You know how much a Super Bowl ad is? It's crazy, isn't it? Think about Zija. We're already in 6 years in 30-some countries. What did we have to do? Translate our website. Put just a little warehouse in to ship product. We can build a brand globally in that fast if we want to tomorrow. As long as it takes to register the company as a legal entity and the product, boom, we're in that country. Who's going to do the marketing? We are. We are the marketing arm of the company. That's all it is. So what we do in network marketing is companies take all of the money that they spent on all that other stuff, they put it in compensation for us. That's how we get paid. People go, how can you pay all those people all that money? Because we don't have any other costs outside of manufacturing and the office staff. There are no variable costs. It's very predictable. You know, they spend tens and hundreds of millions of dollars on an advertising campaign. They don't have any clue how well it's going to work. How much product should they get ready? Everything we do is very predictable. So from a business standpoint, this is just the smartest channel that anybody could want to take products through. Does that make sense? We talked about earlier, internet, e-commerce. That's what we are. We're an e-commerce business. Yeah, people can call the customer service line, but the internet is the way to go, isn't it? I mean, look at what's happening to all these internet companies and retailers all going online. We started that way. We don't have stores and all those challenges that stores are going to have. Home-based businesses, again, we talked about it. I mean, it's just crazy what people are wanting. Money, they want opportunity, they're tired of working. Today, somebody's working not only their job, but what used to take 2 or 3 people, now they're forced to do. The length of work is at an all-time high, stress is at an all-time high. People want an alternative. They just don't know where to look. So if we can show them how we can solve their problem, and they understand how we can solve their problem, there isn't any reason anybody should say no. Now, this is also very important. People always ask, well, why are, your products seem expensive? I go, no, they're not. It's all about value. If you knew what these products could do, what value can we put on those products and what they're doing, right? I mean, it's like saying, well, you got a Mercedes. That's expensive. Well, no. You just can't afford it. It's a car, granted. You can go buy a, a Honda or a Kia or something that's less expensive. Sure, it's a car. It'll get you from here to there, right? But if you want a Mercedes, for whatever reason you want it, engineering, longevity, status, cool stuff, you'll pay for it, right? But here's the real key in nutrition. This is the secret. Imagine walking into Walmart and you see this on the shelf. $100. What are you going to do? You're going to walk away. Maybe you say, well, gosh, let me find somebody if I can to help me. What is this? Well, nutrition. It's in the nutrition and vitamin section. Okay, thanks. Move on by. You see vitamin C. There's 3 bottles of vitamin C. One bottle's $2, one bottle's $4, one bottle's $10. What are you going to buy? $2. It's vitamin C. Why would you pay $10? You can buy it for $2. But you might as well throw the $2 away. There's nothing in it, and whatever's in it is not even going to get in your system. Now, pay $10 and you're going to get what's on that, most of what's on that label. In fact, you know, the FDA only requires 15% of what's on a label actually get in your system. Okay? So that's how people right now purchase. But the advantage of network marketing, relationship selling, in particular for nutritional products, is we get a chance to one-on-one sell. And even if we don't really understand, we got websites, we've got all the material that the company gives us. So Isaac, if I'm talking to you, I can explain the value. You know, if you're diabetic, as we're hearing about today, there's a very likely chance that this is going to help you. Would you like to get off medications or blah, 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 or would you like to not, it's, you know, predisposing your family? Would you not like to worry about those problems? So we can discuss, well, Ron, well, is there any research on that? Sure. And we can get them research. But it's that relationship marketing that can build the value so that we can sell a product so far and beyond anything else that you could ever buy retail. That's the advantage of relationship marketing. That's why, no matter what company, chances are, whatever network marketing company, their products are going to be far superior than anything that's going to be on the shelf, generally speaking, if they're a reputable company. Because we can put more into the product, because we can sell it for more, because we can actually sell it and have people using it. And then, just like Walmart, it just builds on itself. The testimonials and the stories, now everybody wants it. All of a sudden, everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon. It's, you know, people are mostly scared. They want to wait till somebody else gets success before they try something, right? So that's really what we do. Now, here's another interesting statistic. If you know this, then we know how to speak to our prospects. They did a study, 250,000 people. They did a poll, a survey, and they asked them, how many, each one of those people, would you like to own your own business? Out of 250,000 people, 85% said they would. That seems pretty, you know, does that seem realistic? Who wouldn't want to own their own business? That's a good general question. Yeah, I'd like to own my own business. Well, why do only 15% own their own business? If 85% want to, why do only 15% own their own business? So they asked them, why not? Now, by the way, just in the United States alone, in network marketing, about 6-7 million people in the U.S., take away, you know, 85% of what's left, it's about 200 million people. I think there's a lot of people out there that we can go for and go to. Is that right? 200 million? Probably. Well, the biggest reason was they didn't want to start their own business because they had no time. Second was they didn't have the money. Yeah, but if you look at it, which makes a lot of sense, people are busy. It's hard to start your own business. If you want to, let's say you're a plumber working for a plumbing company and you want to start your own business as a plumber, well, you got to quit your job. You got to go buy what? Truck, a van, tools, license, get an accountant. You got to do all that stuff. It's very, very expensive. So yeah, I can understand. They can't quit their job. And it's very expensive to start. No time, no money. Traditional business. Subway, 75 grand just for the name. Plus the building, the supplies. Everything. And though those minimum wage kids stealing all your money. It's hard for the average person to be able to invest like that, wouldn't it be? And it's a 5-year break even, minimum. Minimum 5 years before you got your money back. Now you may make $30,000 a year as take a salary out, but nothing. Now the third reason was I don't want to risk my time or money. Make sense? So think about it. Well, how much time does it take us to build our business, multi-million-dollar potential, international? 10, 12 hours a week from home? You know, you have to go out, obviously, to meet some people, and you'll have to go to, you know, you go get education, presentations, etc. 10, 12 hours a week. It's pretty average in our industry. How much money does it take? $330. Right? What's the risk? You get healthy? Get your money back, like right now?
Yes.
But the big one, though, here's the big one. By far, the #1 reason. I don't know how. What do I know about taxes and lawyers and accountants and licenses and sales and... Well, I understand that. People don't know how, so they don't... That's why they don't have their own business. That's why I come back to the franchise-like system with systems. I told you the story when my income was very average until I got a mentor. By the way, the mentor has every reason to have you be successful because obviously the more successful I would be, the more successful he would be, just like we talked about. And a system even more important. Not just a system that I can do having to have a special skill set, but a system that everybody, no matter what their skill sets are, could be successful. Everything I do, I base on, could the average person out there, without my skill sets and experience and other things, could they do cold? Could they come in and do what I do? Could they say what I said? And my answer has to be yes, or I don't do it. What's the use of me? This is the see, we're looking for coachable entrepreneurs. What a oxymoron. Because entrepreneurs, they want to be unique. See, we all want to be unique in our jobs, don't we? Because if we can do something nobody else can do, how can they fire us? So all of our lives, we've tried to create a unique talent so that we would secure our position. We are the opposite. We are so vanilla, generic. We want everyone to be able to do what we do. And the more successful we can teach other people to do what we do, the more successful we're going to be. So it's beautiful. We must change someone's perception. Now, I would bet, like me, most people had perceptions. Either they were involved in our industry and they didn't succeed, they knew somebody in our industry that didn't succeed, or they've got information, just hearsay, that they've picked up, they don't understand. We hear it all the time. Is this a pyramid? You want to shut that one up? Just ask him. Chuck, a pyramid, that's interesting. I'm not sure what you mean. Pyramid, what's that?
It's what I do for a living right now.
Well, no, I mean, but what are most people going to say? Yeah, you're right. But what are most people, you know what most people will say?